San, ni,
Whoa.
ichi. Hello and welcome to the Dweebz Japanese Podcast. I am the top of Patrick's head. Welcome.
Whoa. And I am a fully formed being, and I'm Khalil.
Deep there. Yes, you are a fully formed being. I am a halfling.
A halfling.
Not quite there yet. Almost there.
Not quite a fully.
Not quite a fully. Yes. Episode 13. Woo! I'm glad we didn't do this on a Friday. This is on a Saturday. Right?
It is on a Saturday.
Otherwise, it'd be Friday the episode 13th.
Ooh, that's bad.
Dun dun dun. Yes. So we just got done watching the episode 5 of Darker Than Black. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I think it was interesting. And
setting up.
Yeah, because you were talking before about how every episode is sort of episodic up until a certain point. But I think this is where it becomes more.
Yeah, I think it's because now we have some more like overall story kind of coming in, like at the end.
Where the next episode kind of is a continuation of the previous one, right? It's the entire season will become, or the entire show will become one long story instead of just like one. But I think that it was probably a mix of a bunch of pilot episodes, as well as trying to communicate what exactly these things are. Because there's a lot of like expository explanation, expository conversations and stuff, talking about the Keyaksha and talking about dolls and everything. So
yeah, I think from what it looks like, because I think so. Like most episodes so far, most like little story arcs have had like 2 episodes, like one setup and one kind of like conclusion. I think that kind of continues, but like there's an overall thing, like story going on through that. Does that make sense? Like there's like smaller story arcs, but they're part of a bigger one. That makes sense.
Well, like at the end of this one, he said,
right. Yeah.
Where's my little sister, or the little sister?
Where's the little sister?
But I don't know who he's talking about. Do we know who he's talking about?
I think this is the first time he has mentioned that. Sure.
Yeah, and that's what became like the end of the episode, sort of the cliffhanger.
Yeah, he also sounded kind of mad too.
Yeah, so I don't know if it's just some girl that he met, or if it's his actual sister, or why he's so angry. We don't know.
Why is he angry? He's a contractor. He's not supposed to get angry.
Yeah, that's also the other problem about watching one episode per week is you kind of forget the previous episode.
Yeah,
and they're so short. So I guess it helps to talk about it though, and to recap so we can try to remember a little bit better for next time. But also we can go back and see how we talked about it. Might want to do that next week because I don't even remember the previous episode much at all.
Gotcha. And yes, the seasons are connected. We might want to do that.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I'm excited to see who this Imoto is, and probably continue with those guys who freeze, and she like does the whirlwind thing, and
does the
whatever it is, tornado. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad.
So latest news about your Japanese study habits, Khalil.
Well, Patrick, I have leveled up. I'm now a level 6 Wanikani, and I have a lot of new lessons available now, so it's kind of like overwhelming a little bit because I had like 10 lessons left, and then now I have 118 lessons.
Ooh, welcome to the club.
Yeah, so now I'm in the thick of it again.
Have you been doing it every day, your lessons, or like if you skip a couple of days, they pile up?
Yeah, I do them. Well, they add like 50 plus at a time, and I've noticed it's kind of ridiculous.
If you level up,
yeah. I've been still doing the 5 every day, and then all my reviews daily.
Sweet, yeah. That's the fun part about leveling up is you get more lessons.
Oh yeah, I see all these radicals. I don't recognize most of them.
Yeah, for completing your work, you get more work. That's your reward.
Dude, yes, I love work.
That's sweet. Yeah, you're progressing because last time you were level 4 or something? I think last week.
Yeah, when we started.
When we started, you're level 4.
4, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sweet progress. It's good to
So
see
yeah,
that.
it seems about a level a month at the pace I'm at. It seems like.
That's about what I'm doing now.
Huh.
Yeah. I thought that the beginning was quicker though than the end. I guess it must be similar.
Maybe you were learning more words at once or something.
Yeah, I was probably doing more reviews per day too. Like right now I'm doing, or not reviews, sorry, lessons. I do kind of 5 to 10, but on average, probably 5.
Yeah, I find 5 is good for me, even though it's a little slower.
It's definitely slower. I think before I was doing something like 20. So that's 4 times as fast. So maybe that's why. Because like level 1 is, or not level 1, but the first couple levels are pretty simple. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't remember level 6 stuff. I have to go look at the list of kanji and stuff that shows up in level 6.
Many moons ago.
Yeah, so it might be a little harder. Cool, awesome. Yeah, keep on keeping on.
I will.
You only have 54 levels to go.
Oh yeah, I'll knock it out, dude.
You're almost there.
What about you? What do you got going?
Yeah. So recently, I've been working on some journaling software. So I have this thing that I do every day where I write like a 1-line diary. I actually have it right here. This is from, I have diary entries dating back from like a year and a half ago at this point. Yeah, almost a year and a half. And so I write basically 1 line per day of what we did during the day, then general thoughts and stuff. Just 1 line of this thing. And then I also have like a goal journal and like a reading journal. So I've got a bunch of journals. But I wanted to combine all that as well as like some ratings for how I slept and like how I felt productive throughout the day and stuff like that. And then I wanted to incorporate Japanese stuff too, language learning stuff like did I do my reviews that day? Make a checkbox, stuff like that. But because I want to open source this stuff and I want to release it for anybody to use, I don't know if I'll add the Japanese stuff necessarily, but I have like a goal section that I want to do for the day. So I'll probably just journaling every day, maybe create the ability to have like reoccurring goals, things that just get automatically added to new entries every day.
Yeah, I think that.
And then have something like 5, lessons.
That's what I have on my current like Todoist app. That's what I have used.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Okay. I like having, again, just it in my face though, because if I open my phone, I see I have 25 reviews. Like I have to go and see that. 25 reviews. And then of course when I'm done with my reviews, I see that I have some lessons I can do, and so I always just like pick those up after my reviews.
Nice.
So that works for me. So I don't necessarily need the goal thing, but it is helpful for a lot of people. And if you can't get this kind of like badge thing in your face, then I think it'd be useful. But yeah, for me at least, when I have like a notification come in and it's not in my face all the time, I just swipe it away. Like I don't want to see notifications. They're just distractions to me. So it's nice to have something in my face, like in my way that I need to go clean up or need to.
Yeah. That's a good way to remember things.
All right. Moving on to your Japanese words, your favorite Japanese words recently.
These are both from that episode of Darker Than Black.
Ooh.
Which you could watch along with us, by the way.
Yes, there's a separate episode, or rather a separate video out, and there's a series of videos now out where we watch it, and then you can watch it with us. And please watch it with us. Go get the episode, go stream it. Don't watch us react to it because that's not very interesting. It's more interesting if we watch together.
Exactly. So yeah, one of the words was saizen, which according to this to the JED I have is the very best. What is the difference between like that and like cycle? I think they used that too in that same episode talking about somebody.
Yeah, I'm not actually sure because I haven't really used saizen a lot in conversation. So I couldn't tell you the nuance. I'd have to ask Judy or somebody else.
Okay.
Saizen. Oh, I see. Yeah, the very best, utmost. Saizen o tsukusu, like to do one's best, to do something to the very best of one's ability. Interesting. Yeah, I'd never really heard that before. But I understand both kanji and I get the gist of it, the word.
Okay, so the meaning tracks with the.
I think cycle is probably more commonly used, but saizen no tsukusu, like to do. Tsukusu is to exhaust or to put effort into.
Oh, okay.
Saizen no tsukusu is like your best, and then exhaust. You exhaust your best, like do your best type of thing.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I think like the utmost or best. Cycle is like best or the greatest or whatever. And cycle is definitely used in conversation way more than to do your very best. Like the times that you'd say that in English, you'd probably use saizen. You wouldn't use cycle, because cycle is like that's great, or it's kind of a feeling more than
like a doing.
Than like a doing or an adjective. I mean, it can be an adjective. It can be a non-adjective, but there's a little bit of a nuance that I'll try to think about how to explain. Yeah, because again, I haven't used saizen myself in the conversations. So, but I think it's this. I always try to, like, if I don't know how to explain something, I'll probably just give you an example in English and give you an example, and then just compare that to Japanese. So, saizen o tsukusu is like to do your very best, or saizen is like to do your very best. Cycle is like that is amazing. That is great.
Yeah. Okay.
Like it's often you're often
So
like
it would be used to describe something.
その旅は最高でした。Like that trip was amazing. That trip was awesome. It's kind of like a cycle is like awesome kind of. It's one of those colloquial things that people say that it has a feeling attached to it, like the greatest, the awesomest, the so that's a very common thing that people say.
Yeah.
Where saizen sounds a little bit more of like a to do the best, like the utmost.
Makes sense though, considering it was from like all the police people talking and stuff.
Yeah. That's kind of how they talk, right? And they're trying to the show, just like any other detective role, they're trying to make it seem cool. Like, they're talking cool like detectives and cops and stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Genzai.
Yeah, Genzai is the next one. So that is like currently, right?
Yes, like current or not necessarily now.
Yeah.
But currently or at this moment, the current situation. So genzai wa, like the current circumstances. I think the current situation probably is a better way to explain that, but current circumstances is also fine. But yeah, currently.
Okay.
Genzai. Yeah, that's a really common one too. Genzai wa something. Like the current situation, the current state of affairs, stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Another one I got from the show too, which we say all this is a very, very, very common word, is angi.
Angi.
So when I was explaining, that wasn't from the show. They didn't say that. But I like this word because the water drinking clip reminded me of that. So angi is like to perform or to act, right? But it can be used in the saying that. So she was, the actress, the voice actress behind the Keiakusho or whatever. I forgot actually who did it. Was it Kirihara? I think it was probably Kirihara when she was drinking water. I don't remember who was drinking water. Somebody was drinking water. So the actress, the voice actress, was going good instead of actually drinking something.
Yeah.
And so that the act of doing that, the act of acting, doing acting or pretending basically, performing like that is angi. So 演技します。演技する。
Huh.
So, for example, we say this all the time with Bella, for example, our dog, when she'll be, laying down and then looking at us like with puppy dog eyes or whatever, we'll say, oh, Bella ga engi shiteru ne. Like she's trying to look cute, trying to, pretend to be helpless or whatever with her eyes, So engi suru. So it can be used for like an actress, an actor, or it can be used for, acting, like a kid is acting, like, oh, they're not actually hurt, just engi shiteru dake. Sokomade itaku ne. Like, yeah. So it's the same connotation as acting in English. Oh, they're just pretending, they're just acting. Also, if you say somebody who's like really good at acting, like we were watching The Dark Knight Rises last night before the power went out, which sucked. But somebody who's a really good actor or actress will say, engi ga umai, like their performing is really, really good. Like, and usually the nuance behind that is you're sucked into the story, like sucked into what they're doing, and it's believable because they're good at acting. So engi ga umai is like their acting is very skillful. So that was one thing that's one really common where they're like, yeah, engi. And by the way, engi, if you can look it up in the dictionary, the Japanese dictionary, it'll show up really quickly. Engi, and the first kanji is perform, and then the second kanji is deed. So perform a deed is to act. Anyways, tsumari is something that what's his face, Mr. Simon said. He was explaining something, and he said tsumari, and I think that was him actually who said that. It may have been the Kirihara's boss, like the other
the glove
dude
man.
at the yes. I'm not sure actually who said that, but tsumari is like basically in other words, or I mean. So he says something and it's not clear, so he'll say tsumari, like
and then explain more.
In other words, blah 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 blah. So
yeah,
tsumari is just a way to say in other words, or what I really mean is, or there's a bunch of different ways to say that in English. So
yeah, that seems useful.
Yeah, it probably comes up more in like professional conversation stuff like that. When you're trying to be clear, but in normal, colloquial talk, just casual talk, I haven't heard it that much. Definitely hear it in those type of contexts, though, the professional or like shows, So that's what that means. Hello, Waldo Shame word.
I got new words this time.
Ooh.
For some reason, I have a single kanji on here. I think this it's a very simple one that I learned a while ago. It's a repeater. I think it's noma, right? It's like why is it so small? Yeah, noma.
I haven't, the repeater. I don't even remember the name for this repeater. But noma?
Yeah, I think that's like how the kanji itself is pronounced, because when I see it in like words, it's normally not pronounced.
It's not, well, it just signifies that, I forgot the name for that thing. Yeah, interesting. Noma is the name of it, okay.
So I'm at 94 and 66 for correct reading. So it's not too bad, actually.
Nice. Better than me. I don't even know how to read that anymore. I mean, I know how to read it, though, when it's connected to a kanji.
Yeah, when you see it.
Yeah, but I forgot the name of it. Noma. Interesting.
Yeah, so that must not be that common then.
No, it's really common. Like super common. But on its own, it's on its own, and like I'm sure that if you'd explain it, but I mean it's so easy to, so like I wouldn't say toki, what does that mean again? It's just tokidoki. I know how to read the word if the noma is attached.
Yeah.
So you hardly ever have to say noma unless you're like explaining to somebody what the kanji is.
Mm-hmm.
But because if the noma is attached, it is literally the same exact reading, but sometimes it's rendaku.
Yeah.
It's it almost never comes up like when you're trying to explain something or ask a question, because it's so obvious what the reading is. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. I don't feel too bad about that. And then next one is to carry out, and I'm trying to remember how to say it because it's not.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah,
it's not equal. Yeah.
It's not. It's something else, man. It's like
Well, now, so the first kanji, right, is to go.
Yeah.
But the meaning of this is to do.
Yeah.
To like do an action. And okonao is the reading for that.
Okonao. Oh, okonao. I see.
Yeah, it's a weird one. That's definitely one I had, on my wall of shame for a while, I think. Back in the day. But that's the thing about having it on the wall of shame and like seeing it over and over and over and over and still making a mistake over and over and over is that and that's the beauty of SRS, right? You just keep making the mistake over and over and you're like, I can't make the mistake again. So you make yourself remember it.
Yeah.
And then that practice just makes the hard things more memorable. Yeah.
Yep, I'm at 50-50 for that. What about you?
No change. Actually, so it did change technically. It went from that other word, which I forgot what it was. It was a newer word though. Back to su, which is hinge, and then kagayaku, which is to shine. So I know the meanings of those, but I haven't seen them in many months. So
that's interesting.
Hopefully they come up again. Yeah, because like a new word that you learn through lessons will come up, right? Yeah. And then you'll knock it out. Oh, I think it was koru. Koru to be absorbed in. I think the reading for that was like, the reading for that I kept getting wrong. I thought it was like to congeal or something. But that's the meaning of the kanji. The meaning of the word is to get absorbed into, like focused on. I think. Yes. No, it definitely does, because we looked that up last time. Anyways, moving on to our grammar word lesson. So tada is the thing I wanted to talk about today. And I actually have the wrong link there for our next document. Sorry. Let me go ahead and add the right link.
Sure.
So tada is the conditional form, but it's also like past tense. So this is a good example, So say you don't want to do your homework, but your mom or your dad is telling you to. So benkyou shinasai. It's like do your homework. It's like shinasai is more strong command. Versus like shite kudasai. Shite is a little bit stronger than shite kudasai. Kudasai is like please, right? So benkyou shite kudasai is like please do your homework. Benkyou shite is like do your homework, but in a little softer kind of. Benkyou shinasai is something that you like a parent would say, or a guardian would say to you or something. Oh, I see. Like do your homework. And then this person would say, this kid would say, "Gohan tabetara suru." Like when tabetara is sort of like, I always think of tara when you add tara to the verb stem. It just means if, and it usually means it in past tense, like if or when. So if I eat, when I eat, I'll do it. Yeah. Kind of like when, if, after, right? But when you see tara, you should think if, and you should think kind of past tense conjugation of the verb. So literally, right? Gohan tabeta, and then you just kind of add da to it, or you add tara to the verb stem, suru. So in reality, like if I just made this sentence a little bit longer, it would be, the parent saying, "Benkyou shinasai," and then the kid going, "Gohan tabetara benkyou suru." So when I eat, after I eat, I'll study. Yeah.
And this example is just it's just kind of implied that that's still the subject. Yes. Like the homework, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So there are other like different ways to use this. Yeah, and this is the when and after. Yeah, this is actually, so the article goes into the same thing I was just saying. Like 走ったらストレッチをします。But it's not, it can be when or it can be after. But it normally has a nuance of after. So the way that I remember that is that, hashita is like to have run, right? It basically means ran.
Yeah.
So, 私は走った. I ran, right? Past tense. 私は走ったら is, so you add da to the past tense of 走る, 走った. You add da to it, and it means basically like after I ran, or, in English, correct English would be after I run. No, sorry. That would be after I ran, because it's past tense. After I ran, and then blah, 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 blah. So I'd say, ご飯を食べに行きました。So, 私は走ったらご飯を食べに行きました。So, after I ran, I went to go eat food.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a nuance, but it's always past tense for that case. There's a different way to say that, which I might get into another day, that is like sort of present tense, or, like if, a more if and present tense type of thing. Or it's more of like and, which you do the verb, like the dictionary form of the verb, and then you add to it. And then that means literally, like 走ると痛くなる。筋肉が痛くなる。Like when I run, 走ると, like if I run or when I run, my muscles hurt. My muscles, いつも筋肉が痛くなる. Like my muscles always end up hurting. That's a different lesson that I'll talk about later. Not today, but tada is really, really, really common, and it's useful. And it typically means the past tense if, if I did this.
Yeah.
So it might not have happened yet. Sometimes it has already happened, and that has the connotation of like after.
Mm-hmm.
After I ran, blah, 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 blah. But it can also mean when I run, or if I run in the future, after I do that. It's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
In English, if I say that, though, if I say, after I ran, so that's the connotation in English, right? So after I ran, I ate food. That has a meaning that, in the past. This was something in the past, right? After I ran, I ate food. That means that this happened yesterday, this happened last week, this happened years ago. It happened sometime in the past. But if I say, after I run, I will go eat food.
Yeah.
Then it's future.
Yeah.
So in Japanese, you don't make any difference. It's basically the same, which is kind of confusing, but you get used to it when you think of just the way that Japanese is spoken and written, right? Past tense, you add that to it, and it kind of means if or when or after. But it basically just, if you think if, this is a conditional, and then whatever the verb conjugation is at the end, tabemashita. Oh, this happened in the past. Or taberu. Oh, this is going to happen in the future. It's just, through like practice and through reading it, you'll see the nuances of it, and it'll make sense for sure. But very, very, very common. Tada. Add to verb stems. So tabetara, hashittara, okonattara. Okonawa, the verb you just mentioned is your favorite word. Or sorry, not your favorite word. That's your wall of shame word. Yeah, okonattara. Like if you do it, or it happen. If you do it, yeah.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have to keep an eye out for that.
If it shines. My wall of shame word. Yeah. So there's tada, and I'll again link the grammar lesson article on Tofugu in the description of this video, so you can go read it. It's a really, really common word grammar thing, and so I hope you find it useful. Now on to the story, the search for ice cream. Are you ready, Khalil?
Oh, I'm so ready for the search for ice cream.
Alright.
Oh, yeah.
Let me get my mouth ready to read this. Okay.
Whoa.
The Search for Ice Cream. The Search for Ice Cream. It's titled twice.
Oh, yeah.
女の人がハワイにいた. Oh, this is really... I like this story already. 女の人がハワイにいた。名前はアミリアだった。ハワイは暑いから、アミリアはアイスクリームが欲しかった。でもアミリアは家にアイスクリームがなかったから、友達のエイデンの家に車で行った。エイデンにアイスクリームを食べたい、あると聞きたい。でも、エイデンはアイスクリームがなかった。エイデンもアイスクリームが好きだから、フィンはアイスクリームがある。フィンの家に行こうと言った。アミリアとエイデンはカナダにいて、フィンの家に行った。アミリアは、フィンは優しくないから、アイスクリームをシェアしないと思う。I'll read it again. アミリアは、フィンは優しくないからアイスクリームをシェアしないと思う。でも、エイデンは大丈夫。今、フィンは学校にいるから、フィンの家から盗むと言った。フィンの家は大きかった。フィンの家は大きかった。キッチンにアイスクリームがなかった。リビングルームにもアイスクリームがなかったから、二人はベースメントに行った。ベースメントにアイスクリームがあった。でも、フィンがベースメントに行った。アミリアが、フィンどうしてここにいる？今日学校がない？と聞いて、フィンが学校があるが、今日は暑いからアイスクリームを食べたかった。どうして僕のベースメントに来た？と言った。エイデンとアミリアは何も言わなかった。エイデンが大きなスプーンでフィンを殺して、アミリアにアイスクリームを食べようと言った。
What?
The end. Jeez.
That kind of, yeah.
Escalated very quickly.
It sure did.
Also, does it say anything about Amelia's reaction? I definitely wanted to hear a little bit more about that.
It just ate ice cream.
Oh, Mr. Russell, you never disappoint.
For real.
Jeez.
What a beautiful mind.
What a beautiful mind. It always ends up in like somebody falling in love with somebody you don't expect, and then somebody dying or somebody killing another person. Yeah. So that was the search for ice cream.
They sure found it.
They did find it. To Aiden's demise. All right, Khalil. Do you want to do some conversation practice and wrap up?
Sure. Let me just
do it.
Generate a topic real quick.
Is that Twilight Zone or something? Is that?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I can't figure out how to say it, but I think you'll understand. Okay.
I don't know if I understand.
Yeah, you will.
Okay.
You have to.
Yeah.
Hoi! Nani o ikitai? Nani o ikitai? Doko e ikitai?
Doko ikitai? Ryoko? Tabi to ka? Tabi ka ryoko ka? Vacation とか。それ？
はい、はい。
OK。どこ行きたい？今は一番行きたい場所は日本かな？日本で義理父と義理母と義理お姉ちゃんに会いたい。 義理家族。
はい。
義理の家族に行きたい。会いに行きたい。そう。
はいはい。
それが一番で、二番は、なんかスペインかな？スペインか台湾？台湾かスペイン。他の国の話だったら、他の国の話だったらスペインか台湾かな今。韓国にもまた行きたいよね。
韓国は何ですか？
コリア。
はい。コリア。
韓国にね、1回しか行ったことない。1日。ざっと1日だった。楽しかったけど、でも、8時間ぐらいだっただけ。8時間。
8時間
韓国に、そう、空港にいて、韓国の空港、インチョン空港にいて、で、バス乗って、ちょっとその空港から出たんだけど、でもすごいツーリストっぽくて、そこまでなんか経験ができなかった。韓国で。だからもっとなんかツーリストっぽくない場所でご飯食べたり、なんかいろんなことをやったりしたいから、また行きたい。韓国。でも一番は日本。
はいはい。
カリロさんは
はい、ハワイ
お
行きたい。日本、大阪と東京。
大阪と東京がいいね。
いいね。
いいよ。カリルにね、多分、東京の方が青気がする。東京の方が青かも。でも、大阪は楽しいよ。一番最初に行った場所は大阪だった。ザクと。
本当？
ザクと大阪、そう。大阪にいて、京都いて、奈良、神戸。その、なんか4つの場所にいた。でも大阪は、一番長く止めてた。実はもうずーっと2週間止まってた。大阪に。だから、ジュリーと僕がまた日本に行ったら、もう一回、4人で、ジュリー、僕、ジュリーのお姉ちゃん、リサ、とジュリーのお姉ちゃんの彼氏、4人で行きたいと今プランしてる。だからまた大阪に行くかもしれない。そう。大阪と京都にね、行けたらいいな。すごい楽しい。そうそう。カリルさんね、来れたら来てね。日本かハワイに。ぜひ来てね。
来て。
もしできたら。もしできたら。できるたら。もしできたら。できたら、ハワイか日本に聞いてね。聞いて。おいで。その意味があります。そう。
はい。
そう。ね、なんか、もしワクチンが受けたら、いろんな場所に行けることになったらいいなと思う。今はワクチンがあっても、もらっても、なんか、まあ、島に行けるじゃん。だから、カリルもワクチン受けたよね。ワクチンはバクシン。
はいはい。
ワクチンも受けたよね。ワクチン。ジンって言っちゃってる？言い直された。ジュリに。ワクチン。そう。
はい。
英語の言葉だからちょっと僕に難しいから、 そう、ワクチン、ジュリーが言った。
はい。
今
ありがとう。
そう。ありがとう、ジュリー。ワクチン受けたのカリル。
いえ
まだ
まだ。
でも、ほら、研究室で、ラブで働いてるのに、もらってないんだ、受けてないんだ。
いえ。
いつ受けられるのいつできる
1
日 ?5 月
はい。
2月、2月、5月に
はい。
1日 ?5 月1日で、
もう一度、1日は何ですか
1日の意味は、まあ、1日。5月の1日。5月の1日の意味。違う？
違う。
プランがないの？
プランがありません。
OK。
今月、みんな、
ワシントン州で、
はい。
今月、なんとかなんとか日で、やっとできるよね。普通の人たち。そうか。こっちは何日になるかわかんないけど、でも、5月ぐらいだと思う。5月の最初らへん。5月の最初らへんは、ハワイはワクチンが受けられることになると思う。でも、いつなるかわかんない。まだ待ってます。そう。ワクチン、ジンって言っちゃった。ワクチンが受けたら、日本はなんか今ちょっと、まだ決めてないんだけど、まだなんかルールとか法律とかが決まってないんだけど、でもアイディアは、ワクチンが受けたら、楽に、なんだっけ、コランティーンとかもなしで、普通に入れることになるみたい。でも今は、それまだ、クローズまだ。今。そう。
はいはい。
だから、まだ待ってます。じゃあこの話にいっぱい話したから、これにしましょうか。
はい。
はい、終わりです。Okay. Sorry, I went on a tangent there.
It's all good.
Wanted to keep the conversation rolling, but I don't want to make it too long.
There's some new stuff.
A lot of new stuff there. Yeah, that's so hard for me to say in Japanese. Wakuchin. Vaccine is so different. The way you say that in English is so, but it's from English, so.
Yeah.
Wakuchin. It sounds so silly. Wakuchin. It's like,
it's
Wakuchin. Chin. I always say gene because vaccine is like easier to say gene than it is chin, but they say Wakuchin.
I looked it up on G-Show and it says it's from the German word vaccine. So it makes less sense.
Okay. Yeah, if it's from German, it makes sense. I guess. I don't know how Germans say it.
I don't know if it does. To be at least.
Vaccine. I have no idea how Germans say it.
I don't know if that's right.
It's probably not that. Sorry, German listeners.
Yeah, sorry. German listeners.
Please tell us how to. Yeah, I guess I don't know if there's any stuff online. Wikipedia definitely has like a bunch of different ways to pronounce different words, which is kind of cool. But yeah, cool. Well, we got conversation practice in, we got reading in, we got a bunch of stuff. Do you have any recommendations for tools or anything, Khalil?
No, I've been on the lookout, but I haven't really seen much. that I want to incorporate.
That doesn't need to be a segment. I mean, like, we can just talk about it when they come up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we'll just add that as a note if we have something in mind. So
it's like I just find like kind of like watching the Dark and Black without subtitles. I'll like look at have some like Japanese people I follow on Twitter, so like trying to read their tweets and stuff, just like trying to do little bits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Little
even just
like
try, like even
helpful.
if you don't understand, just looking at it and trying, your mind will get used to, because you're trying really hard to like piece out everything, right?
Yeah.
And the hardest thing to not to do is, the hardest thing not to do is to not, let me change this from a negative to a positive.
Yeah.
It is very easy to just go look up a word that you don't understand and like waste a bunch of time trying to do that, because there's going to be so many words you don't understand in a tweet or in a book or whatever. And the easiest bad habit to do is to just go try to look up everything so that you understand everything on the page, but you'll never get past that page.
Yeah.
You're going to take like a week on that page. Yeah. You're going to take a week on that tweet, thread of tweets or whatever. So just trying to like understand as much as you can, but don't spend that much time on it, honestly. Unless you really want to look up things, if you really want to know what they're saying, because I would use I don't know if you're already using it, but on Firefox it's called Rikai Champ, and on Chrome it's called Rikai-chan. It's an add-on that you can like hover over kanji, and it'll tell you the dictionary meaning, the part of speech, and the kana reading.
Oh, that's
it's really useful. Yeah.
I'm going to get that right now.
It's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. That's a good... We might have talked about it before, but I just don't remember.
Yeah, it's super useful. So yeah, if you're browsing around, if you're looking at tweets, it doesn't really help for your phone, right? But if you're browsing tweets and stuff like that on your computer, or whatever, reading Japanese, it's really helpful.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how the Todai breaks down
the
articles. It's cool.
What's needed though is you can be on any page and just hover over it, and then it will tell you what the meaning and everything is. I don't know if it gives you a link back to the dictionary, but it's still really useful. All right, let's close this episode out. Episode 13 in the bag.
Oh yeah, in that bag.
Until next time, where we watch Darker Than Black episode 6, and Khalil's going to be level 30.
Oh yeah, I'm going to skip a few.
A week from now, 99, 100. And I might be adding something Japanese related to my journaling. I have no idea. Probably not, but we'll see.
We'll find out.
Continue reading. We'll find out in the next episode. Stay tuned. Cliffhanger. Yeah. My little sister. Where's my little sister?
Yeah, where is she?
Sa, ni, ish. Bye bye, King Rainbow. The Hawaiian rainbow. Niji. Rainbow in Japanese. Niji.
Oh, Niji. A little treat for those who lingered.
Just a little treat. Say bye bye.
See.